I think living in a van really brings a sense of peacefulness and truth to life.
Living in a van, it's cheap. It's, I don't know, I guess it's just a cool kind of lifestyle. I guess you could just go wherever you want. You don't have to stay anywhere. There's no commitment to anywhere. You could have a different view every day, I guess, if you wanted to.
The ultimate factor of why I'm living in a van, I think the peace and quiet and not having like the landlord and just doing my own thing. My name's Brian, and I've been living in my van in Vancouver for the past 2 years now. When I moved into a van, I had been influenced by a few people in New Zealand that lived in vans, that they did it so well that I could do it here in Vancouver. My work is a big reason of why I moved into a van. I work for my best friend, framing houses, building houses. And well, first of all, I'm always allowed to park on the site, so I've got the essentials, water and a bathroom to go to.
Want some sugar in my
I'm Drea Whitburn, and I have been living in this van since May, so it's been, I think, like 8 months or something. I've always wanted to live in a van, actually, since I was like 18. I graduated high school and wanted to live like a nomadic life. Because my friend Brian had been living in his van, he's been living in his van for the past few years. I remember when he first got his van, I remember the first night he got it, and I was like, checked it out, and it was like an old, like just a cargo van, not like a high roof or a high ceiling or anything, so, and he like created this whole bed and like whole setup inside of it, and I loved it, and I was like, oh my God, I want to live in a van. It's just so turtle-like. I mean, it's like you have your whole house on your back wherever you go. It's so great. I mean, you can park in the Southlands, or you can park in West Van, you can park at the beach, you can park in the woods, you can park at parks, you can park in front of, you know, bars, you can park wherever you want, and like that's where your home is for the night.
My name is Kyle Vaughn, and I purchased this van about 2 months ago, gutted it, and ready to get her going. I mean, I kind of caught wind of it from a few friends of mine, so I decided to jump on the bandwagon a little bit. The biggest reason why people would expect me to live in a van is because I don't necessarily value a lot of luxuries that other people would value. Showering on a constant basis is not really something I care too much for. You have the ocean you can go swim in. Not that I like to be dirty, but I don't mind smelling like dirt. I don't really care about having, you know, a permanent zone to be in. It's nice to be able to get up and go, and I've never really committed to much for too long, so this is perfect.
It's a beautiful day, eh, Tico? A beautiful day. We got the whole weekend ahead of us. This is a staff I carved last summer. It's from our campsite in Furry Creek we made, and it was from a splinter off a big cedar tree. But I just carved a few faces in the staff and a few rolling trays. If I could describe people living in a van in one word or a few words, maybe artists.
Nomadic free people, I guess. People that kind of are on the chiller side and don't really hold much expectation for material things.
Back maybe in the 60s or 70s, it would be hippies. And I think we still carry that image that we're hippies or surfers or whatever living in a van when you see a lot of people doing it.
I would imagine there is a certain kind of person that would choose to live in a van. There's a certain kind of person that could probably pull it off. You definitely can't value certain luxuries, I would say. You have to want to kind of not be a part of normal society, I guess. Yeah, special kind of person needs to be in a special kind of van.
What's the most common reaction you get when you tell people that you live in your van?
A forced laugh. Oh, really? Or, you know. It makes them feel uncomfortable. They don't know how to react, or they kind of feel bad for you or something, in a way.
Most common people are excited. People are like they want to see the van, they want to hear about all the stories, they want to know why I live in a van, how I stay warm in the winter, or things like that. Sometimes some people are more closed-minded, I guess.
The reaction I got from me purchasing this van was, "That took you long enough." That's one of the ones. Another one was, "Well, that's pretty much it, actually. Thought you would have done that a little while ago."
Oh, so people thought you would have done this a long time?
Yeah, people already thought that I lived in a van. If I could describe van culture in basically one word, it would be rad.
You get to know people with the vans too, and see like when you have a van and you're on the streets and you're living there with everyone else, and there's this huge like community, so it's special.
Yeah, it's really fun when all the vannies or vanners get together. It's a great time. Yeah, we pull out our blankets and chairs and stuff and candles in the park.
In the summertime, we all parked up on Cambie. There was, I think, 4 vans at one time just like lined up on the street, and we'll like hang out on the grass. And we always try to like park the vans with the doors open facing each other, or like they're lined up out on the street and you open them and each van kind of is like a different venue almost. We put tons of candles out so it'll be nighttime, and we all just like drink and smoke a bunch of weed and just hang out and like.
I've never been in trouble parking or being in illegal spots with the cops, really. Usually the city guys will come by and they usually give a tap on the window too and tell you to move rather than just ticket you.
Have you ever brought a guy back to the van?
Yeah. Yeah. And when guys come, they tend to like have to sleep diagonally so they can fit across the bed properly and whatever. But they're pretty excited to sleep in it, I think.
I guess I've brought a few girls back to the van. They seem to like it. These were both gifts. Gifts both from girls, in fact. This one's got a little pouch with herbs and stuff in it. This is just a stick on a chain. I dated a girl last winter when I was living in the van, and she thought it was awesome. I don't think all girls would be okay with it, but it's a good filter system that you don't want those girls hanging out with you anyways, I don't think, for me.
Oh, well, you just say, "Come back to my place," and then when you get to the van, it's all up to you to get them in.
So you wouldn't tell them beforehand that I live in a van?
Well, I mean, that might work for you. It all depends on the girl. What kind of girl would go with a guy in a van? It's all about picking the right girl.
If I could give some advice to someone about to move into a van or living in a van, it would be not to have too much stuff.
It's a big leap. It's a big adjustment. Make sure that's what you want to do and commit to at least a year, I think. Commit to like a good chunk of time, because then you really see what it's like to live in a van.
My goal was to convince 10 people at least to move into their vans, since I have. So 10 of my friends, and I think we're pretty close now. To convince someone to live in a van, one of my friends, just hanging out with me. I don't say anything, I just let them see it. They keep commenting, "Oh, you're so lucky," and then you can do it too.
I decided to buy a van, well, this van in particular, because it had so much work to be done, and I just wanted to learn how to basically renovate the inside of one, kind of do all the windows and just put it all together myself. Fuck, it looks fucking good in here, man.
It's getting there, man.
It's way tighter.
It's spacious.
Way better than it did. I, for lack of a better term, am going to pimp it out. I'm going to redo pretty much everything. We just gutted the entire thing and just going to make some sweet sleeping arrangements, build my own cabinets in it, set up my own speaker system, probably put a disco ball in it, space to put the guitars and amps and stuff when I go on tour. It'd be sweet if we just did like, since we have all this room, like we have so much room now. I like that idea of having like a back seat right here area, and then the rest is just party zones.
Everything's crazy when you live in a van. Everything's like every day is an adventure. Every day you meet so many different people. I think just living in a van is also just like about following your dreams too and just following what's true to you. We may choose to live like this, but it doesn't mean that we're not, you know, contributing to society. I think that if people want to give it, like if they ever have wanted to live in a van, then you should totally try and just do it.
Sometimes I feel like I promote it too much, or I have a group of friends, you know, and so people find out, hey, you live in your van or whatever, and I'm sure the city doesn't like it, so over promoting it might be a bad thing for us in the end. But for now it's great, and I don't want to ruin it for other people, but maybe we should bite our tongues a bit more. But no, it's great, yeah. I see myself living in the van pretty long term. Yeah, I would love to raise my kids in a van, or some kids in a van, even if they weren't mine. But I think I would have to get something bigger, or maybe two vehicles.
I can't imagine not living in a van or not having the van, and just so I think it'll be an interesting transition, but I still have it to come back to, so I know that.